All right, folks, if this doesn't boost your mental up, if this doesn't boost your confidence up when it comes to where AMC is headed towards to in the very short term, well, I don't know what else will boost you up. Why? Because finally we have some news, some fresh news coming from two main billionaires, that made a lot of money back in 2020 and now are admitting that, well, they were wrong about some of the stocks. They're wrong about some of the moves they made, which made them lose a ton of money, specifically Melvin Capital, as he's now looking towards restarting all over again, maybe for the second time. All right. So let's share with you. Let's see exactly how this is bullish for AMC moving forward. Melvin Capital Management scraps plan to start charging performance fees again. I'm sorry, I got this one wrong. He wrote a letter to clients. Gabe Plotkin scrapped the plan, and after encountering backlash from investors. We kind of talked about this many weeks and many months ago. Mr. Plotkin on Thursday told clients he planned to shrink the size of Melvin's hedge fund by several billion to $5 billion and resume charging performance fees, even though his investors are still sitting on steep losses. Of course, obviously, if you're looking towards closing your hedge fund, is because some of the losses you encountered are just too much for you to bear. Those who had been invested at the start of 2021 have lost more than half of the capital through March after a big hit Melvin suffered in January of last year due to the meme stock rally. So let me pause there for a second. If you don't know about this, but GameStop and potentially AMC, but majorly GameStop was one of the reasons or the main reasons why Gabe Plotkin really started going the other direction. And keep in mind, this is somebody that used to be viewed like a genius on the street, like a genius, a whiz kid when it comes to stocks, investing in Wall Street. And right now, he's not really popular because investors are now saying like, man, what is going on? For 2-3 times in a row since June of last year, we've been losing money. That money, if we just kept it in an index fund, we would have been way better off. But right now, what is going on? So he had to apologize. Now, what is really interesting about this is one that used to have a lot of money involved in this place, the meme stocks. And the meme stocks are now proven that they can destroy them. So what do you think is going to be the reaction of some of the little hedge funds here, some of the little short sellers who don't have the same amount of power, who don't have the same amount of liquidity or the same amount of collateral to kind of sustain when AMC starts ripping again? It's kind of an indication if you kind of see what I mean. Now, another big hedge fund manager who also admits he was wrong, it's Bill Ackman. The guy invested more than $1 billion in January in Netflix after making a gazillion amount of money in 2020. Now, when Netflix dropped 36, 40, maybe now 40, 45%, the guy lost a ton of money, almost half of that $1 billion, all right? So he is also admitting that he was wrong. He made a mistake. Now, this is really interesting because usually the street is not admitting that. The street is kind of, okay, we are the smart guys. We are the people who, nothing can, we can pretty much do everything we want and nothing can actually come and surprise us, because we have the people, we have the talents, we have the tools, we have the money, and we have the resources, we have the connections, all right? But this only proves that nobody is invincible. And when it goes back to the short sellers who are still sitting here, it's just a matter of time before they start encountering the same scenarios, the same situations, because it is impossible for them, and by them I mean those who are still here fighting hard to remain active, to remain standing up, because at some point something's gonna come and push them like they did for these two guys. And these guys, prop them for saying in out loud officially that they were wrong, because the street usually will because it's a smart money, they don't make mistakes. BS. So that's why personally, I think it's just a matter of time. And yeah, what's going to happen to Citadel or maybe, Susquehanna or any other big hedge funds here when the little before them, the little beyond them are starting to get boop, 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 especially with interest rates coming. So yeah, another reason to be very, very bullish and stay strong. At least that's what I'm doing.